Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between. How the heck are ya? I am indeed the Lavender Lady, Diana Clarion, and this is the Open Chat. And with me is the one, the only, the brilliant, the beautiful Kate Farr, Bionic Dance. Hello, dear. How are you?
Hello. Someday I hope to be the many, not just the one and only, but the many.
What, are you planning on contracting schizophrenia or something, or what? No, actually, that would
Nah,
be
I
multiple
think I'm a
personality.
clone.
Hmm?
I think I'm a clone now. There's always two hanging around. Yeah. Anyway, with all due apology to Weird Al Yankovic, so there is something I'm curious about because I like my default interpretation of the name Amiga Nuts is the old Commodore computer. The
I keep
Commodore
thinking,
Amiga.
I keep
Like
thinking
I'm
that.
nutty for that, but maybe it's just I'm nutty about female friends.
Okay,
I don't know.
okay, could be. Yeah, I keep thinking of Amiga myself. There's actually a Linux distribution put together for the Amiga. I don't know if it's still out there or not. Um,
Hmm.
I don't know how many Amigas are still out there. God, because Amiga, that was years and years ago, right?
Oh, that was like early to mid '80s.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. And yeah, you might be able to play a text-based adventure game on that or something like that, but it didn't go that much farther.
Well, I
Uh,
still remember how amazing it was when I had 4 whole megabytes of RAM.
yeah, wow.
Yeah,
Um,
that was pretty wild. I remember when I upgraded to EGA, and I was like, "Oh my gosh,
holy.
16 colors!"
Yeah.
No.
Oh my word. Yes, indeed. Oh my first the first computer I owned personally had a 1 megabyte of address space. Uh, it was um, it was the IBM XT without the IBM packaging. It was made by
Okay.
a knockoff company, but it was the same damn thing.
Oh,
The company was called Leading Edge. I don't know if anybody
oh, I
ever.
remember them. They
You
had the
do?
triangle
Yes.
window.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that anybody would remember them. Okay.
Well, you have to understand that my dad, when he decided to stop working in energy conservation, went in with a family friend on a computer business.
Okay.
They they would do custom computers for businesses and things, um, and that's part of why I had access to computers so early in life is because my dad was doing that. And so I saw a lot of those knockoff companies, and Leading Edge was one of them.
Okay. Mm. Yeah,
So
they had a very interesting machine. DOS did not use even half of what was on that machine. Um, Memory mapped I/O and all this other good stuff, and yeah, it was all sorts of fun. I got into disassembling pretty much everything that was on it, and
no disassemble. Anyway, sorry.
that was so much fun. Back when you actually
Mm.
could get an assembler from Microsoft that would put out absolute code, because
Mm.
now the only assemblers you can get are relocatable. So you've got to stand in your head to generate code that has the hard addresses coded in. But oh well, that was so much fun. I love that shit. But things have got so much better now, and I can do so much more than I could do then. Um, so yeah, I mean, back then it was just a dream to even talk back and forth over the line. Um,
Yes. I remember there was this dial-up BBS where it had a live chat and you could have only 4 people at once. And so
wow!
it was always this mad rush, like when your time limit expired to dial back in before anyone else could take your place kind of thing. But not just that was like the text came in so slowly. I mean, we're talking about like 300 baud here. So it was like while you're watching someone else's type itself out on your screen, because it's like, yeah. Oh man, that was wild.
Oh man. Okay. And were you using an acoustic coupler, or was it an actual modem by then?
No, it was a proper modem. I didn't plug the phone into it.
Okay. Okay.
Like I didn't take the receiver and like that. No.
Right, because that's where I got started. The high school had a computer. It was built by Hewlett Packard. We actually ran a time sharing system out of the meth office in the high school. We had this thing set up in there, 2 teletypes in the room with it, and then the other 2 high schools in the system had a teletype each, and 2 of the junior high schools had a teletype each. And we're doing this all with 100 baud acoustic couplers. It was beautiful.
Well, what always amused me was like in movies in the 80s that were trying to make out like, oh, these are really high-tech people. And they would like hold up a phone that was having a modem signal going to it, and it sounded nothing like a modem signal. You know, it just sounded like beep, 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 like that, you know, instead of the psh, wee, oh, psh, that modems actually sound like, you know.
Oh, man. And, yeah, I guess every one of those little notes and swishes and everything has a meaning, and I forget what the hell that was to get everything hooked up and everything, and request and acknowledge and all this other horse shit. It's been a while. But
I always remember like the sound was always this. Well, it wasn't exactly the same every time, but it was always the same. Like they would always have the dee da 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 da, you know, that part. And I don't know. It amuses me to think about it now.
There was one that reminded me of choking an ass or something like that, choking a donkey. You know, the one that went.
Yeah, I actually hate to say it, but the sound of an old school modem like that kind of reminds me of the sound of an MRI machine.
Okay.
In a way, they could be related. You could play the two next to each other, and someone might go, "Okay, I see what you mean. They're not exactly the same, but there's a theme. I hear it."
I'm trying to think back. When I had the biopsy done, I'm pretty sure that was an open MRI, but I forget what it sounded like. The MRIs I remember, where you went into the tube, and if you were claustrophobic at all, you dare not open your eyes, because the inside surface of the tube was, like about this close to your face. It was like, ah! But it sounded like a Browning automatic rifle. Like dun 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 dun.
And there were occasionally like the sounds as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they put you in there with headphones.
Not me. No, they put me in there basically with my head wrapped in 3 or 4 pillows.
Oh, wow.
Because that's the only way they could block out all that sound, believe me. It was loud. I mean, you could feel it right in your guts.
Yes, yeah, that's why they...
And yeah. But headphones, no, that didn't happen.
They were...
Wait, how do they even put headphones on you? They have to be like completely non-metallic if they're going to put headphones on you.
I do not remember what they were made out of, but not only did they put them on you, they played music through them.
Still.
Yeah, and it was like they'd have to be non-metallic because of that whole magnetic thing going on. But this was so long ago that I just cannot remember is the damn thing about it. Because I had the MRI. The first MRI I ever had was done in 1976. And then the most recent one was in 1988. So you're still talking a few years.
Yeah, my most recent one was about 2, 3 years ago.
Yeah, when you got your head meats worked on.
Well, and a little bit before as well, or sorry, a little bit after as well, just to make sure everything was where it should be.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, of course they would do that. And yeah, there was a set of MRIs I got done in '88 that turned up the slip discs, the five of them. Yeah, two in the neck, three in the lower back. That was all sorts of fun. Um, at least I haven't had any problem with them recently. And when I say
Hmm.
recently, I mean the lower back hasn't given me a problem in what, maybe about 15 years. I have a constant problem, but it's low level in the shoulder, and it's like I'm not going to worry about it. I'm old anyway. I'm falling apart.
See, I don't know. I intend to live forever or die trying, as I keep saying. And if I start to fall apart, I'm going to bitch about it and say, fix it.
There you go. Oh my. I don't know, man. I don't want parts falling off and everything else is a thing. I mean, living forever is one thing, but
Hmm.
being in a shape to enjoy it is quite another.
Yes, that is something that has often bugged me about stories where someone gets wishes and they
Uh
say, I
huh.
want to live forever. They don't say, I want to be young
Yeah.
forever. They just say, I want to live forever. And yeah, that's why, like I've often said, if I'm ever presented with like 3 wishes, no more, no less, no wishing for more wishes,
Oh,
my very first wish will be that every wish, including this one, is interpreted as I intend without any unintended and unwelcome um, side effects.
there you go.
Now, granted, that leaves me with only 2 wishes, but those 2 wishes are not going to get all monkey's paw on me, you know?
Yeah, there you are. Because the unintended side effects and everything. I remember I think it was a Rod Serling Twilight Zone thing, uh, where somebody got wishes, and there was one wish he made that he wanted to be in charge of the country and nobody could vote him out or anything. So he got turned into Hitler. That didn't go over too well. Um, it went the way of all stories like that one, where you get the wishes and then you wish for all this bullshit, and then you get returned to the original state and you find out that you're actually happier that way. You know,
Sounds like it's a wonderful life.
yeah, absolutely it does. And then the fisherman and his wife. Do you know that one? Where the fisherman hauls in a fish who says, "Please don't eat me. I will grant you the wishes." And he can't think of anything for himself, but his wife wants a new dress, so she gets the new dress, and then she wants eventually she wants to be queen of the world,
Oh.
and everything's going like sideways, and that whole thing. And finally, the fisherman says, "Please, fish, just turn everything back the way it was and go away." And then everybody lived happily ever after. Yeah.
Well, I mean, and that's the problem is these stories always involve someone like the lesson always seems to be appreciate what you have now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the lesson always seems to be live with the status quo. You know, and I'm like, no. That's why I came up with that first wish. Is every wish that I ask for will be granted in a completely beneficial way.
Yeah. And sometimes the status quo just isn't enough. Okay. Sometimes it
Mm.
just doesn't work. I mean, think of the U.S. right now.
Mm.
One little piece of thing there, and
Well,
oh well.
one thing I would really like to believe is that the left is not a cult the way the right seems to be, you know, where everyone's licking Trump's feet
Oh
and saying it tastes
my.
like rainbows, you know, that sort of shit. And I'm like, I've seen people post memes saying they could find Joe Biden in a hotel room with a 5-year-old hooker and I'd still vote for him over Trump. I'm like, really? Would you?
I don't
I mean, like,
know.
the one question they will not answer, will not, and granted, it's mildly flippant, but I really want a genuine answer. Okay, I've resurrected Hitler and now he's Biden's VP. Still voting for him.
Oh, well, I think I've said this on other shows. I ran into somebody who said that if the choice were between Trump and Hitler, she would vote for Hitler. And it's like, what are you saying? Come on.
You know, I mean, that's the thing is it just seems like people have lost all sense of logic, reason. Like everyone's being ruled by their lizard brain right now. And
Yeah.
it's honestly kind of scary. I want out of this nightmare. You know, I mean, like even just another country would be good enough.
There you
But
are.
we can't like there's 3 countries now that will honor United States passports.
And I don't think I want to know what they are, right? Oh, let me think here.
Well, at least one of them was in like the middle of Africa.
Okay, that was the first place I had thought of. I was going to suggest the Republic of the Congo, but I may be wrong on that one. I would be interpreted badly no matter what.
Well, I don't know which African country it was. For some reason, my first thought was Uganda, but I didn't see names on them, and I have not memorized which country is where on that map. So
and then
I might be able to find it.
Here's an interesting thing. I expect no answers, of course, but I have to wonder: would Haiti even let any of us in? You know, Haiti, the AIDS capital of the fucking world. But oh well.
And what do they have against that completely harmless vowel anyway?
Yeah, there you are.
Oh, I don't even know why I'm looking for this picture. You know, I'll never find it on Facebook.
Okay.
Well, the image with the countries that'll accept a U.S. passport right now.
Oh.
I saw it on Facebook. I don't know why I'm bothering to look. I'm never going to find it.
Oh my. Let's see.
I mean, honestly, it's not that important. It's just that I don't know.
Okay. Wait a minute. As of October 1, 2019. No, you don't want that. Travel restrictions on Americans erode a sense of, that's dated July 7th. The handful, 2 days ago, the handful of countries still welcoming U.S. tourists. I wonder if this will get us anywhere. From CNN. Let's have a look here and see what we got. Okay. As of updated 27 July, so that was allegedly updated yesterday. Where did that paragraph start? Here we are. Most of the Caribbean, for example, is open for U.S. tourists. Other countries, including Mexico, Maldives, and Turkey, aren't exactly welcoming U.S. travelers with open arms, more like a temperature check and a COVID-19 test. But they are allowing visitors to cross their borders for the first time since the coronavirus shut down much of the world. Whether travel to open international destinations is responsible or advisable is up to individuals to decide. Well, given the individuals in this country, I'm not going too far with that one. But it's worth noting that since the pandemic is ongoing, anything can change at any time. Now, we have a picture here. Okay.
Let me ask you this before you mention it. Is it the United States in green and almost every other country in black?
No, the colors are different. The United States is.
Well, I found the image I'm looking for anyway.
Oh, well,
so
okay, yay, let's have it.
Okay, present now, a window, this bad boy, and share.
Yay.
So yeah, I guess Turkey and what the hell is that? Tasmania. That's the one.
Tanzania.
Is that what it is?
Tasmania is that island off the southern coast of Australia.
Okay, well, I mean, keeping in mind that is like I was trying to see that.
Yeah, and it's not going to get you too far.
Like there's no way I was going to read that properly. And like I said, I haven't memorized where every African country is.
I'm not sure that I would consider that a desirable holiday destination. I'm thinking that there's a little bit of turmoil down in that neighborhood, isn't there? And then
You know what I really ought to do at some point is actually memorize like all of the countries to Yakko's world, so I can actually do what Yakko does in the anime. United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Peru, Republic of the Caribbean, Grenada, El Salvador, because he points at every country while he's singing it, and I think that'd be such a cool thing to have as a talent. So.
Okay, then, yeah, this one over here. And as usual, I can't share for shit. So what I'm gonna do is copy and in the YouTube, I'm going to paste the link to the page with the CNN. Excuse me, if you will, please. Thank you. That little burp going on there. Yeah, this thing has a few more openings here. Closed to U.S. citizens is almost the entire world. Open to U.S. citizens is Mexico and Turkey, and I'm not exactly sure what the little country in the upper left corner of Libya is.
Upper left corner of Libya?
Yeah, you have Libya in North Africa, and then there's a little tiny country.
Oh, so the one between it and Algeria, then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one. Mm-hmm.
I don't know either.
Yeah, and there's one destination. What the hell is that? Albania? Wait a minute. Let's have a look over here. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Okay, they have a list.
Oh, it's Tunisia.
Ah, okay. That is good for you. Good for you. Open to U.S. citizens, according to this: Albania, Dominican Republic, Kosovo, Maldives, Mexico, North Macedonia, Serbia, Tunisia, and Turkey. Great destinations. Yeah, beautiful holiday spots.
Well, it's funny as I'm looking here, and what is this? The Dominican Republic is apparently open to us, but Cuba has told us to fuck off.
Well, didn't the Trump administration reimpose restrictions on Cuban travel?
Well, probably, but still, I think it's amusing that, of all places, Cuba is like, nah, none of them Americans.
Uh-huh.
You know, I mean, after the years and decades of telling them, yeah, you're godless commies, screw off, them telling us we're not allowed in just amuses the hell out of me.
Oh, man. Okay, and you've got a shitload of open with restrictions. And in neither list do I see Haiti. Yeah, I mean, AIDS Central will not let us in.
Well, you know, with AIDS, at least you actually have to do something to someone for them to get it.
Yeah, uh-huh. Oh,
you know,
Oh, jeez. This is just totally amazing. I think I've said it before. I'll say it again. I personally am seeing that maybe you might have in the rest of the world some relief from this pervasive virus troubles, where you'll have travel and you'll have not necessarily wearing masks everywhere and everything else by the middle of next year. Say March of 2021. Here in the U.S., you're not going to reach that state until 2025, is my prediction.
I don't know. I mean, suppose that Trump gets ousted like we all think he probably will. And suppose someone gets Joe Biden to issue some sort, because he won't do it on his own, to issue some sort of mandatory mask policy. I think we could get ahead of it before 2025 if that happens. We might end up with a civil war before it happens, but if
Yeah.
everyone cooperated, we'd be done a lot quicker.
Well, that's the whole point. The cooperation thing is, if things continue as they are now, populace wise, not necessarily government wise, but populace, these assholes are going to torpedo anything anybody tries to do.
Well, that is the problem, isn't it? Is that
Yeah.
there's all these people who just won't cooperate, won't play along for safety's sake. And they're all like, this is just the first step to tyranny. And we're all like, no, this is freaking temporary until everyone stops dying quite so much. You know, it's like
Yeah.
the lack of sense of like do a little inconvenience for the public good. But then again, these are the same people who insist that taxes are theft. And I have to wonder, what do they think the country runs on? Like good feelings?
Oh man, well they want theirs, and they don't want anyone else to have theirs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the complaints are with people like me receiving Social Security, and other things, food stamps and Medicare and you name it. All that shit these people don't like. And
and
it's
they're
the
all
stuff
like,
they are receiving.
well, and then there's the whole thing of like, well, we can't have UBI give money to people like money they haven't earned. We can't
Oh
do
man,
that.
we can't do that. No. I mean,
It's like the United States has never been a meritocracy, not really.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've had the illusion of one, but it's never really been one.
I don't know. I would like to see the United States be something approaching sane, but I don't think that's going to happen in my lifetime.
Well, I think that, and I don't like the idea of any kind of armed conflict, frankly, but if secession cannot happen non-violently, then in a way I kind of welcome a coming civil war, because I think it's the only path we have to getting out from under the thumb of conservatives on both sides of the aisle. Because right now, I mean, the establishment Democrats have too much power,
Oh
and
yes.
there's no ousting them. It's like they seem to have ways of staying in power. And I mean, I like the whole United States of Canada and Jesus land idea. Let them have it. Let us go. You don't want us. We don't want you. Let us go.
Mm-hmm. I mean, as long as I could get the hell out of Jesus land and into the United States of Canada, which is rather doubtful, I have to say.
Yeah, well, I'm already here. I got mine, so screw the rest of you. Come on. I had to say it.
Mm-hmm. But yeah.
Well, Ethan, the holy speckle. Oh, and hey, Von Rick, how you doing?
Hey, hi, Von Rick.
Do I know the holy speckle? That sounds familiar, but then I don't know.
Wait a minute, where do we have the holy speckle? I am.
The most recent comment in the chat.
Okay,
and we're looking at someone who ain't naked, so.
Oh, look, it's Tornado. Oh my. You're Tornado. To say that you were in the Southern Bible Belt is an understatement. You were in Florida, okay?
Florida. I mean, Florida man is a meme at this point.
Yeah. It's going to continue to be a meme for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Gray still plays is doing his whole Florida man thing, everything. That's the guy who demonstrates games and does everything he can to break them.
That sounds like at least half the channels on YouTube, frankly.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, he is in Florida, so he makes all the Florida man jokes.
Yeah, Von Rick, I have exactly zero reason to go to Ohio anymore. Not since my relatives left. So, yeah.
I wouldn't go back to Ohio. No, thank you. Uh-uh.
But I have to ask, like, if you could fit in luggage and get out, would you?
Oh, wait, are you speaking to me or to Von Rick?
Anybody? It's like if you're living somewhere unacceptable and you could fit yourself in luggage, would you, like, someone tosses you into baggage claim, you spend a really cramped couple of hours, next thing you know, you're in someplace a little more free.
I'd very seriously consider it. Yeah. I mean, at this point, I would very seriously consider leaving everything behind and becoming a refugee. Yeah.
Hmm. I don't know. You should step it up a couple of notches and become a refugee.
Okay. We could do that. Absolutely. Um, oh my, oh my, oh my. Hey ho, way to go, Ohio. Oh, please. I grew up there, okay, and I got the hell out.
Hmm.
Well, of course, my thing was I grew up in Cleveland, so that says it all, okay?
Yeah. Uh, Actually, the only part of Ohio I've ever been to is Cincinnati.
Okay. Um, yeah, nice conservative Cincinnati. Holy shit, man. It's been a while since I've been in that direction. Well, I mean, not counting the trip last July. It had been a long time before that since I'd been down there. Uh, when we were doing the conventions with Mensa, we would have the conventions in the outlying areas around Cincinnati, mainly because Cincinnati wouldn't allow the stuff that we liked. Okay, uh, shit like that. We were just a little too crazy for Cincinnati.
Yeah, it just seemed like a lot of the right wing's agenda seems to be someone out there is having fun in ways we wouldn't. We need to stop this.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, well, Von Rick, I kind of like that idea. I really do. Kate's gonna have to weigh in on this.
Sorry, I missed it. Where are we now? Oh.
Von Rick says if push came to shove, we could drive to
Okay.
Pittsburgh, grab Diana, and drive to your place, Kate.
Yeah, only if you agree to help me tidy up, because this place is a wreck since Xander got here. Like, it was never really well cleaned, but like Columbia at least was not shredding everything she could get her hands on. But Xander, on the other hand, he loves to destroy.
Oh man, yep.
But I mean, it's not even necessarily that. He loves to shred paper.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, yeah. Sylvia gets in those moods as well. But more than paper, she likes to shred houseplants.
Well, I don't have any of those. I don't know what Xander would do to them.
Okay.
One thing, actually, I'm starting to wonder if that pheromone stuff that's supposed to stop them from fighting, starting to think it works better than I thought, and I had just had it plugged into the wrong outlet.
Hmm.
Because, well, okay, it's summer in Southern California. I've had my windows open a lot and fans going. I figured the last place I should have this is in the living room. So I put it in the bedroom because that's not as ventilated, right?
Okay.
But as soon as I moved it to the living room, all of a sudden they fight a lot less.
Huh. Okay. Okay. Well, if it
I don't know what to
works,
say.
if it works.
But the problem is that I don't know what the cause is or isn't. For all I know, it was something else entirely. Maybe they've learned to establish some sort of detente. I don't know. But like, it seems like it would maybe be too much of a coincidence for it not to be the new placement.
Okay. I mean, you could always do the John Stuart Mill, principle of addition and principle of subtraction, and like move the move the pheromones back to where they were and see what the kitties do, or turn them off completely. And yeah, I know that would frazzle your nerves totally. So I don't know if it's worth it. Hi, Rome Demon.
Well, sorry, you said John Stuart Mill, and now all I can hear in my head is the Bruce's Philosopher's Song.
There you are. Of his own
Was
free
it
will.
John Stuart Mill of his own free will on half a pint of shandy was particularly ill. Plato the say could sick it away, half a crate of whiskey every day. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
It's
all I can.
it's a
Yeah.
little high for me. Yeah. I mean, I got a lot of my range back when I quit smoking, but I didn't expand it beyond that. Oh man. Oh, the smoking was killing my voice. It really was.
Well, my range is limited, but within that range, I can kick ass.
Yay!
You know, it's like I get maybe one full octave and then half above it, half below it, and that's it. And outside of that range, I just sound like a squeaky balloon.
Okay. Now I have to turn the power up in order to do it, but I did get my 3.5 octave range back, and especially up into the treble staff. You know, the tenor voice.
Okay.
That was, yeah, I had lost that, and I sounded like Kenny Rogers with an extra helping of gravel.
See, you say that every time. I cannot picture that because I don't really know what Kenny Rogers sounds like. I know of his existence, and that's it.
Okay. He had a very, very gravelly voice. Yeah, and I guess I don't know if it was a smoker's voice or if it was something that was malfunctioning, or I don't know. But no, I can't even do it right. We need to do karaoke. Oh gods.
Well,
Oh, man.
I've mentioned before, back in the day when Blog TV was a thing, we used to do karaoke nights. It was like me and All Babies Are Atheists and whoever else wanted to join in. And that was fun. But the problem is, like right now, we're broadcasting on YouTube. We'd get copyright strikes left and right. We'd have to find a place to do online karaoke that would not be copy strikey.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's difficulter and difficulter as time goes on. No, because I'll pat myself on the back, and I don't have the looks for it anymore. But I used to do a better Sinatra than Sinatra. So what can I tell you?
Well, I don't know. I still there are some songs that I can do really well. Weirdly, a lot of them are like late 90s, early 2000s pop punk, like Blink 182 and that sort of thing.
Okay.
Nerf Herder and what's the other one? I know there's another one. I'm blanking so hard on the other one. It's weird. Like when they were new, I fucking hated Green Day, and now I actually like them. It's weird.
No, it's probably not just you, Von Rick. The automatic game controller had set my volume way down, and it's doing it again. Every time I open my mouth, the volume is just going.
Now that you mention it, I didn't check my own volume. I might be... No, I'm fine.
Okay,
for some reason, my computer loves to take my microphone and set it from like 94% down to 70%, and it does it without any warning.
Mm-hmm.
And so there have been times when I'm like sitting down, green screen's up, camera's up, I've got everything queued up to start a new video. I record my first clip, import it into Premiere, and I'm like, why the frig is it so low? Oh, you did it again!
Yes, yes. I mean, there are a few things that get on my nerves about this Linux distribution, and this whole automatic gain control thing is one of them. Because all I do is to speak at a reasonable voice, and it's turning the gain down. I'm watching it just go. Oh well, what can I tell you? I just have to watch it go, and then I have to bring it back up and watch it go and bring it back up and all this other happy. All the poo-poo.
Trying to figure out what that other band was. I hate that I'm blanking on it right now. I don't know.
Wait a minute. Holy spackle. Yeah, what was that? Have you always had to what?
It's always kind of wacky when there's like a band where you like exactly one song of theirs.
Uh-huh.
You know, I mean, I'm really not a fan of The Offspring, but they have this one song called Want You Bad that's absolutely wonderful. Even if the lyrics weren't hilarious, it's just a well built song.
Oh, holy spackle wonders, Kate. If you've always had the tattoos, I'm going to guess that you probably didn't have any at birth.
You'd be surprised. No,
Oh.
well, okay, let's see. When I started YouTube, I know I at least had this one and this one, and this one and this one. Probably this one as well. Not sure about that one. I know that one of the two that are on my back predate YouTube. This one I've had for like what, 2 years maybe. This one is definitely, well, I mean, it's the Zopdogs. It's from the atheism scene. I got it from Aaron Ra's son, so you know it's definitely post YouTube. I have another one back here that anyway. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Imagine how fucked up it would be if tattoos could be inherited genetically.
There you go. Yeah.
You know, and like so you end up with half of a tattoo from a band you can't stand because your mom or dad loves them, or even what if you were like raised by white supremacists and there's
Oh
no way for you to
no.
get rid of that half swastika on your arm? It'd be like, what the fuck, parents? What are you doing?
I could just
So
I could just see that having happened to me because yeah, they never openly aligned with any of them, but especially him, definitely a
yeah,
white
but you're also
supremacist.
adopted, much like I am, so you wouldn't have inherited a damn thing.
Well, I don't know. I mean, the way epigenetics works, could you end up with that shit because you were raised with it?
No,
Okay.
no. This. I'm so in the scenario I'm positing, your parents would have to have had the tattoos for you to inherit. Like it's a biological thing,
Okay,
has
fine.
to be.
Okay, fine.
Um,
Much better.
but the question then becomes recessive, dominant. You know, what if both parents have tattoos? They're not the same. Maybe they even clash ideologically or just color wise. Like which tattoo has the stronger genes?
There you go. And the way that stuff actually works, it could really get weird.
Mm.
Yeah, because the whole thing, for example, a dominant trait um, is simply a protein that's functioning. I mean, an allele that is functioning and making a functional protein, whereas the other allele is broken and making a non-functional protein. So you only get from the one protein that's working, and then you get the stuff that happens. What is the flower where you have red and you have white, but when you cross the two, you get pink because they're both expressing. Um, well, that's what happens with the blood types as well.
Mm.
You know, you have type A and you have type B, and both of them can express, and you have type AB, or none of them can express, and you have type O. Yeah.
Well, you know, I hate to say my blood type is very depressing. B negative.
Oh my, oh my, oh my. Okay. You're a little on the rare side there, aren't you?
Why do I get the feeling you missed the joke? B negative.
B negative. Yes, I know. I
Okay, I
know.
wasn't sure because you ignored the joke, and I wasn't sure if it was a didn't get it or I'm not acknowledging this shit.
No, but your type is actually B negative.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, you're a little bit on the rare side.
Well,
Not
maybe if I get out more, maybe tan some and feel that sun, I'll be on the medium well side.
There you go. There you go. That'll work. That'll work out
No one wants
pretty well.
steak.
Yeah. No, not as rare as AB negative, but yeah. Uh, what do you have here? Okay, the most common type is O. After that is A, and then B, and then AB. And then positive is more common than negative. So, just combine all that bullshit and come up with all kinds
It's
of
funny, I
weird.
was looking at an article about celebrities and their blood types. It was a weird article, like why would anyone report on that?
Okay.
But they were looking at a lot of like older stars from things that were popular back in the past, and they ended up asking Henry Winkler what his blood type was, and he said A.
Okay. Hmm.
Sorry, I had to. That was just sitting there in my head, and if I didn't get it out, I might have exploded.
There you go. That was one nice thing, if you want to call it nice, that came of the surgery I had in '76. I got to find out what my blood type was.
I actually asked my doctors because like they were going to draw blood anyway, and I said, "Could you tell me my blood type too? I've always been curious since I learned it was a thing." And they said, "Sure." So they just went and did it.
Okay. Yeah, because they wanted a couple pints on hand, just in case they needed it. So they had to know what type and everything, and they told me while they were at it. I was like, okay, I like it. Oh my! No, wait a minute.
Steve Shives, is Steve Shives blood type A positive? Okay. I mean, random ass trivia, but okay.
God, I hadn't heard that name in a long time.
For some reason, he and I are Facebook friends. I've never watched any of his videos ever. I barely know who he is, but we're Facebook friends. It's weird.
Well, he and I are also, yeah. We used to talk back and forth a little bit more than we do now. I mean, we haven't talked back and forth in quite a while.
If I've ever actually directly interacted with him, I don't recall it.
Okay. And I think the last time
I'm not saying it would have been a bad thing if I had necessarily. I'm just saying I haven't. And given that, like, people like to talk a lot of shit about him,
yeah,
I'm not sure. Like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know the guy at all well, and I don't want my opinion of him to be colored by what other people have said. Because that's happened to me a few times where people heard a lot of stories about me and were like, oh my gosh, I'm going to fucking hate Kate, aren't I? And then we start hanging out, and they're like, I don't know where the hell that was coming from because you're not so bad.
No, you're not so bad. No, absolutely not.
Well, you're biased. I mean, actually, people who are like Ocean Keltoy, if you know him.
Yes, I do.
We met at Faithless Forum, and he thought I was pretty okay. And then even when we had an exchange back and forth on video responses of why I think babies are atheists and he think they're not and all that. And like I could see YouTube gearing up for a shitstorm. Like I knew, like the way people were talking, like, oh gosh, this is gonna, like lock and load, look at the Rumble. And then he and I exchanged two really civil, well-reasoned videos, and it was over.
Okay.
And people were like, but we wanted a death match, and it didn't happen. Yeah.
I met Ocean back when I was working for Jones. So this would have been 2017, something like that. He came on. He came on one of the shows at one time. That was the. As soon as I get through hiccuping here, the NCG Studios. I worked for him for a while. You keep saying you may or may not remember having been on that show. Well, I was doing some moving things around. I think I found the video that you were on. I'll have to look and see if that is indeed the one. I can send you a copy of it.
Well, I mean, you know how it is. Like I've been doing this for more than a decade, and I have memory issues from the seizures and all that stuff. The fact that I don't remember being on a show is not remarkable at this point.
Yeah, he remembered you. And of course, he has that whole Southern gentleman attitude. The whole manners thing and everything else. He thought that you were rude, and I was like, Dr. Jones, come on, I know this lady. She's rude is not what she is. Okay, a little unnerving at times, yes, but rude, no.
I'm trying to think, like, rude. I mean, okay, granted, I do have a tendency to defend my closely held positions with terminal intensity, but rude, I don't know.
Well, that's the whole thing. I mean, Jones, I really don't want to talk out of school about anybody, but I will anyway. He was one of these people who thought less of you if you disagreed with him.
Now, when you say Jones, who are we talking about here?
Michael W. Jones, who was the guy who ran that whole NCG show.
Now, does he go by any other names that I would know him by better?
Not that I know of. No, just Dr. Jones. One or two people call him Michael, not very many.
If someone says Jones in relationship to the YouTube atheism scene, I'm thinking of DPR Jones.
Yeah. Well, no, Dr. Jones was not really in the atheism part. I mean, Jones said that he was not a Christian, but he really was.
I don't know. All I can picture now is, hey, lady, you call him Dr. Jones.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, I think he's a former pastor, and he kind of runs his own cultish little church. Yeah. I mean, there are some people who love him, and there are some people who hate him, and I am neither of those people. I mean, the reason we're not working together now is just a bit of a difference of opinion. It goes back to a show where his right-hand man, guy by the name of Bob Graves, you may or may not remember that name.
That name sounds familiar.
Yeah, Cult of Honesty and all this other sort of thing. He was really down-talking psychiatry and mental health, and he's a life coach, so he knows better, And there were about four or five of us with diagnoses that really got on his case for that one, and we ended up on Jones' case because he was backing Graves up, and yeah, that's. At one point.
Go on. I thought you were done.
Oh no! At one point, Jones said, "I thought you would defend me." And I said, "Well, I'm sorry, Dr. Jones, but I didn't agree with you." And boy, did he take that badly.
Now, I suppose one way I could say that I'm rude, but at the same time, I don't think that it's unjustifiable, is if, like, I've made a point, and the person who's opposed to my side of the argument starts replying, and intentionally or not, they get something that I said completely wrong, I will jump in and say, no, that's not what I meant. Right?
Okay.
Where they expect to be able to get through their whole completely incorrect spiel, the whole thing that's based on an idea that I never said, that I never expressed, like basically a straw man argument. I'm not going to just sit there for 5-10 minutes while they make that bad argument, sitting there just grinding my teeth. And then finally, when they shut the fuck up, and I can say, you totally misunderstood my point there.
Yeah.
And then have to reiterate it, wasting all of that time. Oh, I fucking hate that. I hate that so much.
Yeah, Mage and Spackle, I mean, yeah, this is where it gets a little touchy. I'm trying like heck to not down talk Jones. He's basically a good guy. He really is. He's just got some weird ideas, and some of those weird ideas ended up with me not working for him anymore. Um, because yeah, there were a good 4 or 5 of us who really took issue to the whole thing about psychiatry is crap and mental health diagnoses are bullshit and everything else like that.
Mm.
I mean, I'm open and honest. I have a diagnosis of major depression, anxiety disorder.
Major depression, anxiety disorder. Sorry, I shouldn't do that. But
Yeah, that whole thing.
it was a thing from How I Met Your Mother. But anyway, go on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and I do fairly well as long as I don't do anything. When I try to do something, I just end up, crashing and burning. Just like the last time when I went back to school. Either that or I got complacent and panicked. I'm not sure which. But yeah, that.
Oh, I know that song, Von Rick. Sorry.
Soy de Petrada Paloca. Okay.
Well, he says when he hears Dr. Jones, he can only think of the song from the band Aqua, the same band that did Barbie Girl, if I remember right. It's like Dr. Jones, Jones calling Dr. Jones. I haven't heard it in like years, and I'm probably fucking it up pretty bad, but yeah.
Hi, Granny. How you doing? Yay! Loved that live stream of yours. Anybody who has not seen the live stream with Godless Granny and Faye the Gracious, please just go look it up. Pay a listen. Great stuff.
So speaking of doing things and getting discouraged and all of that stuff, the animation I'm working on, trying to design one of the bad guys. And unfortunately, what I believe I've come up with is something more like a futuristic baseball catcher.
I have to look at this. Yeah, kind of.
So I'm trying to figure out what to.
You're missing the chest protector, but yeah.
I might have to start over completely for that. But. Oh, well, what you gonna do?
Hey, Amiga Nuts, if you could do me a little bit of a favor, could you look up Godless Granny and put her stuff into the side chat so everybody can find her?
What's horrible is
Thank you. Thank you.
For all I know Godless Granny by a different name or something, but Godless Granny isn't familiar to me. That's actually happened a fair number of times back when I was in the Seattle goth scene, is a lot of people would have their legal name and their goth name. Like, to this day, I don't know the actual legal name of the guy everyone called Graves, for example.
Then. Okay.
But that got weird at one point. I think I told you about the guy who was busted for, like sex trafficking and child sex trafficking.
I was going to ask if that was the guy.
No, different guy.
Okay.
But I knew him by a name that was a pseudonym. It wasn't his real name. And then when people started talking about what he had done, I was like, is this a guy I know? You say he's one of the DJs at the club. Is this a guy I know? And they said his legal name, and I was like, who's that? And then I started to get an impression of who it might be. And I was like, did he ever go by this other name? And they're like, yeah, like 20 years ago. And I was like, I know that guy. Okay. But that comes up a lot.
Yeah,
a lot of the scenes I'm in, because people will have names that they get called that aren't their actual name.
Yeah, I think I remember you saying something to the effect you used to converse with this guy and everything else. And
Oh, we used to play Battletech back in the old WotC Game Center.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that was before I ever ended up in the goth scene, and for all I know is before he ever did either, but still, I mean, like, you wouldn't think that someone you knew. You know how they always say, "Oh yeah, it's the quiet ones you got to watch." You know,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
it seems so normal before he murdered that busload of senior citizens. You know that kind of, and, so to discover that someone you've known for multiple decades was involved in child sex trafficking, that's a little weird,
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, I could
So
imagine it would kind of shake your world up a little bit.
little bit, little bit. There are times morbid curiosity gets the best of me. I kind of want to actually read the police report people talked about because apparently it's the kind of thing that can scar you for life reading the police report of what he did. And
Oops.
I have to admit, like I said, morbid curiosity. I want to know. But then again, I also don't. Like I want to know just to have the experience of knowing, and then I want to forget again, which doesn't work obviously because then
Right.
I'll be like, I. But
Well, I
I
don't
don't know.
know. I don't know, hon, because, given your head meats, you might be able to forget.
Maybe, but I mean, there are so many things I've done in my life, not necessarily because I care about them, but because I just wanted to know what the experience was like.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Because people like, when you're little, people talk about having sex or getting drunk or this, that, or the other thing, and it's also abstract. You don't get to know what it's really like until you do it. But
Mm-hmm.
there are some things you probably don't want to do. Like, I'm deeply curious what a heroin high is like. I'm never going to find out ever because I don't want to actually do it. I want to have the experience and then hit the reset button and just have the knowledge of what the experience was like, but not the consequences. And that's not the world we live in.
Right,
So
right.
I think the closest we may ever get to that is if we end up in some sort of like cyberpunk world where we can jack ourselves in and people can record experiences and then play them back for other people. Then we could get someone like, okay, here, go record yourself shooting up heroin and then bring me the data chip and I'll slot it and watch and feel what you felt when you had a heroin high, and then we'll destroy the chip and it'll be done. I'll have my memories and I won't have done myself physical damage.
Mm-hmm.
Just to have the experience, and then it's over. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't have that. I don't have the experience of a heroin. I do have the experience of a crack high, and
Oh,
yeah, I actually tried the stuff once, and
mm.
my assessment was, what's the point?
Well, I got to tell you, if it's anything at all like having way the frick too much caffeine when you haven't had it for years, then I can definitely leave it.
Yeah, you're on the right track.
Okay, yeah,
You,
I don't want that. I like if I have too much caffeine at once now after so many years without, I feel really, really uncomfortable. Like I do not like the physical sensation of too much caffeine.
and it's a hell of a head rush. And I can imagine that's part of the reason some of the people really like it and they get addicted and everything else. But it was over so quickly that
Hmm.
it was, I mean, less than 30 seconds, I think, if I remember it
Huh.
correctly. Definitely less than a minute. And my thing
Well,
was, I could buy a tab of acid and I'd be good for 6 hours, for what this crack went for. Um, and
well,
it's
there's something I wish was legal because I've done acid 3 times, and I have to say the best experience was turning off all the lights and putting on Tron.
oh, okay,
I mean, come on, that light show is amazing. Oh, oh, VR on acid. That sounds
okay,
like a blast.
could be, could be, could be.
Wow. Okay.
And it's
But
been
yeah,
a
I mean, whatevs.
hell of a long time since I've done hallucinogens. So
Well, you get the right strain of pot and you'll hallucinate. If you've been clean for a while, you'll hallucinate. But
Yeah.
it's amazing how quickly you can build up a tolerance to cannabis.
Okay, I never really ran into that.
Oh, I have. And I have to admit, Harmonica Man, as much as I hate like mushrooms, like food mushrooms on pizza kind of mushrooms, I am curious about the actual mushroom high, though.
Mm. Um. Yeah, they say it's gentler than an acid high.
I could go for that. Honestly, I like the idea of just legalizing all the drugs and letting people make their own poor decisions.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, number one, it empties out the prisons. Number two, it like like how many non-violent drug offenders are in prison right now?
Wow.
It would definitely turn the for-profit prison system on its ear, big time.
Oh
Um,
yes.
but even then, I mean, just imagine if you could go to the store and buy whatever it is that you want to get fucked up, or decide not to, whatever. I mean, it shouldn't be a huge deal. It really shouldn't. I mean, why do we let beer, wine, and liquor be legal, but like marijuana and mushrooms aren't? I mean, obviously the problem was
Lobbies.
the race war. The race war.
Well, that
But
too. Yeah.
but there is no other reason why they should be illegal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that whole thing with Nixon and the DEA, that was a way to control the black population. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, not just black people though, hippies as well.
Oh well, that too. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, no one cares so much about hippies these days. The war is still on black people more than it ever was.
Oh sure. Yeah, I get it.
But
Definitely.
but I mean, yeah, the whole idea was these people will never vote for us, so let's find a way to make so they can't vote for the other guy.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole Southern strategy nonsense and all that
Oh,
stuff.
jeez, yes.
It's amazing to me how many right-wingers try to deny that the Southern strategy was ever a thing, that the party has ever shifted. So they like to say, oh, Lincoln was a Republican and he freed the slaves. So obviously we can't be racist because we're Republicans, as if the party never flip-flopped,
I lived through that realignment. Yeah, you people who are saying all that bullshit, you can just, you can undo your craniorectal inversions anytime, okay? Yeah, you watched that happen in the mid-'60s. And it was all tied to the civil rights era.
I am so glad I missed it.
Yeah, it's not fun, not fun, not fun.
Honestly, if I it would take my own personal hyperspace capable starship to make me give up having been a kid in the 80s. Nothing else will do it. I think I was one of the luckiest fuckers ever to spend my childhood through the 80s.
It sounds like you feel about the 80s the way I feel about the 60s.
No, I've heard you talk about the 60s. It's completely different.
Okay, at least as far as the program goes.
Yeah, see, that's the thing though, is that is something that was real. Everything I love about the 80s was all pure imagination.
Okay, I got you.
I mean, like the space program, the NASA program, isn't going to get you to Star Wars. It isn't going to get you to The Last Starfighter. It isn't going to get you to Tron. It isn't going to get you to The Neverending Story or The Goonies or Indiana Jones or any of that stuff. Because honestly, the world we live in is mundane compared to the imaginary worlds I soaked up when I was little. Like if this was Harry Potter, our world is a muggle. And I hate that about it. I mean, like, we've had that conversation about whether or not imagination, the way I experienced it, feels the same as the presence of God religious people try to talk about.
Yeah.
Because it sounds remarkably similar to me. And so, like, honestly, just I loved being a dreamer back in the day. Not like whatever the dreamers were, that's not a thing. I mean like someone who thinks in their head going, "Oh, I want to make up fiction just like the fiction I saw." No, I want to live like the fiction I just saw. You know?
Mm. Well, now you have stuck Kenny Rogers and Kim Carnes in my head. Thank you a whole hell of a lot.
I have no idea what you mean by that.
Don't fall in love with a dreamer, cause
Never, never
okay,
height of it.
okay.
Mm, like I think I know who Kim Carnes is, but again, never listened to Kenny Rogers. The closest I've come to listening to Kenny Rogers, he was in a movie called Six Pack back in the day, and I saw that, and that's it. It's
Okay.
everything I know about Kenny Rogers.
Daprojnie.
Oh wait, no, I take it back. I take it back. There was an episode of How I Met Your Mother that was about a road trip. And rather than it just being Ted and Marshall doing like a redo of their going to this like remote pizza place thing, Marshall insisted on bringing his wife along. And rather than listening to the tunes they were used to, she had them listening to a book on tape read by Kenny Rogers about a kid and his pet dog. And I don't know if it was really Kenny Rogers or not who was in that episode, but he sounded really boring. And he didn't have the way you describe, so I don't know if it was really him.
Okay.
Actually, I shouldn't look it up by How I Met Your Mother. I'll never find the episode.
I don't know if you're familiar with a song called The Gambler.
I've heard of its existence. I could not tell you anything else about it. Oh, hey, he died this year.
Who, Rogers?
Yep.
Yeah.
It just says natural causes. Actor. Let's see here. How I Met Your Mother. Okay.
Von says it really was him.
Looks like it was him. Season 5, episode 5. Yep.
Okay, then.
Yeah, that was the episode with Tantrum. I love the idea of Tantrum. Tantrum was the sort of not quite Jolt, not quite Red Bull fictional energy drink that they had. And oh my gosh, it was so funny, the whole Tantrum thing.
Okay.
Anyway, it wouldn't make any sense if you haven't seen it, and I couldn't explain it to you without violating so many copyrights. But trust me, Tantrum is a hilarious part of How I Met Your Mother.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like fun. And speaking...
Well, that's because it is.
Oh, yay. And speaking of tantrums, I am going to step aside for about half a second, be right back. So now you can look at the box of water, and that's going to have something done with it, by the way. There we go. And we're back. How do you like that?
Maybe
it's
that
just box
of
water is going to
lighting.
get worked on, I think, next week.
Well, I mean, maybe it's just the lighting, but I have to say that the water in that aquarium...
Yep.
But maybe it's just the lighting, but I have to say the water in that aquarium kind of looks yellow, like it's contaminated.
Okay, it's partially the color and partially the lighting. It looks brighter. It looks a brighter yellow than it looks here. And I have figured out that the color in the water is due to dissolved organic material in the potting soil that I used as a substrate.
Okay. Well, all I know is that the first thought I had when I saw it was, oh, swamp water.
Yeah, and I think you also described it as the color of beer.
That wouldn't have been me, I don't think.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it was Mom NATO, I don't know.
Maybe. That could be. Oh my, let me move this over to the side somewhere. There we are, that'll work out pretty well. Yeah, now I can have the stuff that you dearly love so much.
Huh?
Yeah, the good old club soda here, kids.
You and your club soda.
Oh man, I decided that I was going to have some because I hadn't had it in a long time, and I remembered how much I liked it.
But
Oh.
but what is there to like about it? It's so yuckety.
Well, I guess it's that slightly mineral taste that it's got.
Ugh. So precisely what I hate about it.
Yeah, I think pretty much it is. Really, I'm not giving you shit when I say that, but I think
Well, okay. I remember many years ago, back in high school. Now, granted, I only did this because the girl who suggested it, I was totally crushing on her. But I ended up joining a police explorer post. She wanted to be a cop, and I thought that could be interesting, and also I get to spend time with her, so why not? You know, and it was interesting. Learned a lot about police work, and learned that I don't ever want to be a police officer. Uh,
Mm,
but at one point they were talking because the Explorer post that we had joined was new, and they didn't have anything other than like classes for us, and they were discussing uniforms at one point, and like one of the officers said, "Well, we want to get you something with buttons and a collar," and I said, "Ah, so precisely what I'd like to avoid then."
yeah, all right, yay.
Yeah, so and it's the same thing with your club soda, mineral taste. Ah, so precisely what I want to avoid then.
There you go. And that's the amazing thing is you're the only person I've ever known who has that whole button phobia thing going on.
But it's a recognized thing.
Yes, it is. I have heard of it. I knew of it, but I never knew anyone with it until I met you.
Oh, it's so fucking creepy. I don't know how else to explain it, but buttons are creepy.
Okay. Um, yeah, I just never really noticed. The only thing that gets me about buttons is trying to fasten buttons on new denim clothing
Okay.
because the cloth is stiff and you're trying to get the button through the buttonhole and it's very very yeah, annoying.
I don't know. I just find them deeply unpleasant. I think part of it might just be that they don't seem secure enough. Like if you were to accidentally brush up against something, it seems like they could get caught on it. Like they're not flush with the garment.
Oh, it does happen, yes.
And that kind of wigs me out. It's one of the same reasons I won't wear, say, for example, lipstick, because I'm sure it'll smear at some point. I'll do this or something, and you have to always touch it up. And I'm like, screw that. It seems like too much bother.
Yeah, and
You know, it seems like I'll be paranoid about fucking it up like all day, and I just don't want to bother.
and don't even bother with the lipstick now. I mean, in this era of face coverings and masks and everything.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, the closest I'll do is chapstick, and that's just therapeutic.
Mm, yeah, unless
So,
you get the stuff that lasts forever. You need gasoline to take it off, and you're talking like $30 a tube. And screw this. I haven't got that kind of budget.
yeah, well, I mean, honestly, it's really, really, really high maintenance to be a lady, if you see what I'm saying.
Yes, absolutely. Yes,
And gosh, it seems like a lot of bother. I
and
mean, I've got so many friends in the goth scene, and just the sheer amount of money they spend on corsets alone.
oh man,
Yeah.
I don't even know how much you can end up spending for a single corset. I know it's more than I'll ever have to throw around, but other than that, and then of course I'm not the one to be wearing a corset anyway. I mean, I just don't have the figure for it.
Well, but I thought part of the point of a corset was to shape your figure.
Mine's kind of resistant to being shaped. There's a lot of
Well,
stuff going on there.
I saw what may or may not be an accurate artist rendering of what happens to your guts if you wear a corset for too long,
I
and it
think I've
was
seen.
terrifying.
I
I
think I've
just,
seen the picture.
ugh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And what really amazes the hell out of me are the women who will have, the lower pair of ribs removed in order to cinch up their waists even further than they could with those ribs there. You know, I've heard of people, I don't know if this is real, but I've heard of people going for an 18-inch waistline. And it's like, you
Well,
do realize that, wow.
well, it just seems like if you go for that, if you take the corset off, you'll just go, like your spine won't hold up what's above it, you know.
Oh, pretty much like those neck rings that you get with some of the sub-Saharan people, I think.
Hmm. Well,
Yeah.
and I have a bunch of friends in the goth scene who are totally into various body mods. One dude totally wants to get his tongue split so it's forked.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I
Okay.
know, right?
If it's what he wants, okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, I one of my friends who has a tongue ring, like I knew watching him fiddle with it constantly was why I, as someone with ADD, I don't want a tongue ring ever. Like, I understand it's great for oral sex, but I'll just be constantly rubbing it around on the inside of my mouth. Constantly, I'll probably chip teeth on the fucking thing because I won't be able to stop knowing it's there. It's like an ADD thing,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And I don't, that I can't, no, nah.
Yeah, I could not go with that. I mean, it's bad enough when I get a piece of peanut under the ridge of my denture. Um,
Okay, I gotcha. How about a hair under a contact lens?
Ow! 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 Okay, yeah.
Or the popcorn kernel that goes into the gums.
Ouch. Uh huh. Yeah, no, it's been so long since I had worn contacts that I'd forgotten about the hair under the contact lens. Wow. Yeah, that's annoying.
Well, I'm so glad I got the LASIK done. Don't have to monkey about with that shit anymore.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, it's. I think I've said it before. I'd be afraid to because my prescription has been changing at a fair clip. And, I'd be afraid of spending all kinds of money for the LASIK, and then I'd end up needing glasses anyway.
Hmm. It seems to me at some point a prescription should just be a prescription. Like after you've filled it, the bottle that you have is the scription, right?
Yeah, pretty
Because
much.
you bring the note from the doctor, this is my prescription. Now script the scription.
And then what, when you get it refilled, would that be a postscription? Or no?
Nah, I
No?
think when it's finished, you are now postscription.
Ah,
Like when you're out of refills and you need a new prescription, you are postscription.
gotcha. Okay, that works. That works. I like it.
Yeah.
Oh my word. Okay, Mage Grey Wolf says, I knew a guy who got a tongue got infected and turned gray. Yeah, great stuff.
I tried to have a cartilage ring in my ear once, and it got infected and had to be lanced twice.
Okay.
Yeah, that sucked. And I really liked the idea of just having a ring up here, but it didn't work out.
Oh man, okay.
And for all I know, that was an aberration, and it wouldn't happen again if I tried to do it again, but doesn't seem worth it.
Yeah, the getting the earlobes done, that's as far as I'll go. I don't want to go any further.
Well, I'm going to stick to tattoos from now on.
Okay. I mean, it took me long enough to get my ears pierced. I got my ears pierced at the age of 47.
Yikes.
Oh my, yeah, it was 1994. I'm sorry, not 1990, 2004. Got the arithmetic bad there. But yeah, I've been considering, and never done anything. And there was the one day,
I have to
okay,
say,
I'm doing it.
Oh, I hate to say it, I can still picture in some of my darker moments that horrible squish crunch sound that it made when they pierced my ears.
Okay.
It was a horrible sound.
Man, all I can think of when I think of horrible sounds was Megan, I said, someone please change the subject. In a minute, honey. Oh man, no. When I got my head cut open, and that piece of the skull was back in there, and it was starting to knit. I can remember not turning the correct way or something, and bumping my head against the door frame, and it sounded just like crunch, crackle, 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 and it's like, oh shit, what did I do now?
Actually, this explains a lot.
It does, doesn't it? That I never expected a sound like that. Yeah, but that's another story entirely. Okay, Megan, that will be nice to you now.
I don't have any good sort of like war stories about getting my head meats done. It was one of the simplest things. I mean, I was passed out for all 8 hours of it, and then I just felt kind of weak as a kitten for the first day and a half ish, and then I went home. There really wasn't much more to it.
Man, you are so
You know,
lucky.
I mean, okay, granted, a few days later, my cousin Adam had his wedding, and my family came because he lives in like LA. I think he just moved to San Francisco or something with his husband Will. And we went, and I was so worn out by the end of the wedding.
Okay. I can imagine, yeah.
I mean, because I was 4 days post-op with the head meats, so I didn't last very long. If they had the wedding today, I'd probably have lasted a lot longer.
Okay, then. Oh, geez, with me, 4 days post-op, I was still in the ICU.
Yeah, but you had a chunk of skull taken out. I had a small drilled hole.
Yeah, it's amazing how the field has changed, isn't it? Where they just had to do that little thing, go in there with the little hole and get the work done. And
I mean, keep in mind, it still took 8 hours to do it, but yeah. Okay, Columbia, that's not the kind of mouse that cats are supposed to thwack about, you know.
Oh, you're no fun.
Sorry, she dumped a mouse off of one of my other computers, and she looks very unrepentant about it.
And yeah, you do remind me, and I want to thank you for reminding me something I'm going to have to get around to doing. I think it's time to replace this trackball because it's stuttering.
Oh, have you cleaned it?
I haven't pulled it apart and cleaned it yet. I may do that.
Well,
I actually have a spare trackball.
okay,
So
I don't even mean tearing it apart, though. I mean just pop the ball out, get some of the gunk and schmutz out of there, maybe take one of these bad boys in, and then put the ball back in. It should be fine.
Oh, okay. This, I don't know if it's having something to do with the ball, or yeah, you've got the same model I have, or if it has something to do with the switch. Because when I press the switch, it fires more than once.
Now wait a minute, though. You're talking about a trackball mouse, not a switch.
Well, you know those buttons.
I know, but
Yeah.
I'm making a joke.
Oh, okay, fine. Yeah, I'm a little slow. I'm a little slow today.
Yeah, well, I think chances are you're still looking at the stream on YouTube instead of actually on the themeet.google.com. You do that sometimes.
I do that sometimes, and what I have is
They're a little out of sync.
I got the sound panel over the meat thing. There we go. Yay! Oh, there she
There's
is.
still a half hour before feeding time, Columbia. Quit your bitching.
Ow! Ow!
Oh yeah, they still have trackball mice, and honestly, I prefer them.
Oh yes, I really like the trackball. It stays in one place, and I don't have to have the extra space on the desk to move the thing around.
Actually, it mostly stays in one place, but if I go like a couple of hours gaming, I'll notice it slowly creeps closer and closer to my keyboard. Every now and then I have to go, shit, mouse creep, and move it over. Because I'm like, it's been slowly migrating.
You know, in other words, I am not moving it to operate it. You know, I have my hand wrapped around it, and my thumb is doing all the work.
Yes.
And there's got to be a joke in there somewhere.
Yeah, I was picturing something kind of filthy, but and my thumb was doing all the work, and myself.
I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut. Oh my.
Yeah, well, I mean, like trying to use a regular mouse now feels so awkward. Like, I have 3 monitors set up for just one computer with a big extended desktop. And if I want to get from, say, here to there, it's like a couple of trips with the mouse just to get there.
Yes.
Whereas with the trackball, spin, and I'm there.
I noticed that just with 2 monitors, I noticed the travel. Yeah, and I can imagine what it would be like with the damn thing, with the moose on the desk and going, from here to Kansas City, just to get from one side to the other.
I suddenly wonder, do people in Canada call it a moose?
I don't know, man. That would be, yeah, that might that depends where in Canada you are.
Are you talking about my moose? I don't know.
Because let's see now.
Columbia.
In Nova Scotia, I suppose, yeah, because I know Shannon Q has that pronounced abute going on. But then again, they're the French Canadians who wouldn't do any of that stuff. Yeah, there's the eye roll.
Friggin' Quebecers. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, all right. Oh, jeez. Yeah, it's all sorts of fun. Yeah, I forget if I have 2 or 3 of these things over here.
I've got a couple kicking around in various states of disrepair.
Oh my. And the other thing that I would do, and I haven't done in a while, maybe that's part of what I need to do. As you push the buttons, as you push the switches here, you do actually wear a little bit of a notch into the plastic button.
Push the switches?
Yes, absolutely. You got it. You got it right. There you go. And yeah, I would fill the notch with sawdust and super glue from time to time, because it would you'd have to push the button farther and harder to get it to do its thing until you filled the notch and everything was fine, and occasionally push the button on the cat.
Filled the notch. Anyways.
Yeah.
What I want to know is, Amiga Nuts, do you have these in a text file or some sort of like cut and paste macro system or something? It seems like you always have our links ready to hand, and I'm just curious what your system is. Or do you look us up on the web every time?
It's proprietary. You can't tell, right?
I don't know. These are the kinds of things I wonder sometimes. It's like you're always prepared, and I'm just wondering how.
Well, that's his job. Yeah, this is Amiga Nuts' job here, shilling for everybody.
And don't for a moment think we don't appreciate it, because I at least do. But I'm still curious about your procedure, because, well, it's a wonderment to me.
Omega nuts is such the sweetie, really is. Yes.
I am definitely getting that impression.
Yay! Yeah, we still have some sweeties around here in the community.
One or two of them, yeah. I don't know. I can point to some people that I think are great, that I'm glad I know, and I can point to a few other people that I just tolerate. And then there's a few people where, I would not mourn their loss. In fact, I wouldn't necessarily consider it a loss.
Yeah, there you go.
And absolutely none of them have last names that end in McCrae.
Oh my.
Oh, we have ourselves an invading Xander.
Oh my. Okay, so you've got an invading Xander, and I have an invading Sylvia. So great minds think alike. Hi, kitties.
And yet somehow our cats managed it too. Uh-oh. Xander, tell me you're not about to head towards Columbia.
Oh no, Xander, you don't want that. No.
He's at a chair.
There not start World War III. Oh my.
I am starting to wonder if that pheromone thing is working now that I put it in the living room instead of the bedroom.
Maybe.
Because they are fighting so much less.
You're shedding everywhere, Sylvia. You know that? I had thought that a short-haired kitten might not shed all that much, but you're putting the lie to that. Kitty. Damn cat.
Yeah, I just got an email telling me to look for something in snail mail about a possible power outage. I got the snail mail 2 days before the email.
Oh, jeez. That is amazing with what the Postmaster General is trying to do to the USPS anymore at the behest of his boss. Oh my.
Why can't they just call them General Postmasters instead of Postmaster General? Because a lot of people picture a Postmaster General as a general in charge of the post, whereas a general post, like putting the general at the front where it's not their name, makes it sound more like what they actually do is I am in charge of the general postmastering.
There you are, yeah. Oh my word.
I don't know, it just seems like they phrased it in like they got it backward.
Will you look at that bash script? That is a thing of beauty.
Okay. Well, all right. Huh. Interesting. Well, thank you for sharing. I've often been curious about that. So, yeah.
God, I haven't written a bash script in quite a while.
Well, when Quinn Redshift is finished, when I finally have that animation done, I seriously want to try making a video game, and that's going to involve learning some coding.
Coding is fun. Coding is really
and I'm
much
sure
fun.
Some of it will be scripting.
Oh, of course. No, absolutely.
It's funny, like I used to be a cutscene scripter for video games, but they call it scripting. It wasn't really scripting. There was no typity. You were placing like nodes for characters to follow in a 3D environment.
Okay.
Yeah.
So typity, is that like wavity?
Well, yeah.
Okay, just checking.
In fact, typity came before wavity.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was just, I don't know what it was about wavity, but that was instant, yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Oh my.
I don't know why that would be the thing, but I guess it is.
Well, how do we want to say it is produce of Kate. So I guess that kind of helps right there.
Well, okay, but there's still. I mean, Kate has produced a lot. There still has to be something that said, "Aha, this is the one."
I
You
guess it's
know?
got a little bit of a cadence to it, wavity, 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 wavity.
Oh, but it's not supposed to sound like that. It's more of a wavity, wavity, wavity. It's
Okay.
rapid. You know the skedaddle noise that they have on cartoons a lot.
Mm.
It's kind of like that, except wavity.
Oh man, it just you brought it to mind again. The noise that is made when somebody is running in place before they start moving.
The skedaddle noise.
Oh, that is the skedaddle noise. Okay, how does
Yeah.
one produce that?
Honestly, it sounds vaguely xylophone-ish, like someone has put a mute on xylophones and they went like this with it.
Okay.
That's my guess anyway.
Daprajnia. Oh,
Mm.
okay, so we have a note of assent there. Actually, we have a note of feed me, and it's, come on, 20 minutes to go, little one.
Yeah, and now I've got a not quite song reference in my head.
Uh-oh.
Well, you said 20 minutes to go, and my brain went 20, 20, 24 hours to go. I want to be sedated. Yeah.
um,
I really need to get my hands on a soundboard. Like having just a bunch of sound effects ready to hand would be so handy.
the good old dun 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 sound, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the one. There's one of the sounds that I would really love to have, and I can't remember what it is right now. Um, that must mean I'm getting old.
Well, okay, there was a sound effect that I could not describe to people in a way that made them go, "Oh, that," and okay, when something creepy is happening, and they'll have this sort of like plinkety plinkety spiders walking everywhere kind of creepy sound,
I think I know the one.
and I could not explain that to people to save my life in a way where they went, "Oh, that."
Oh, okay. Oh, and then
And it was driving me up the wall.
there's the one sound I'd really like.
Ah, hold on. I don't know if you heard that. Hold on.
It's kind of muddy. Uh huh. Uh huh. Uh huh.
I could not describe that to people in a way that made them understand what I was getting at. And it was driving me up the wall because I needed that sound effect for something.
It sounds kind of bubbly to me, actually.
Well, it sounds to me like someone plucking little like strings or um, little metal prongs and you pluck them.
Okay. Okay.
That's what it sounds like to me.
And
And
it's
hush you, it's almost
plucking
food time.
plucking cats. Yes. And there's one sound I've heard Gray use from, and Jordan Spirit Science used it once or twice. I guess I have to call it the da 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 sound. Um, and I'd like to get my hands on that, but I don't know what it's called.
I can't picture it from what you just did.
Yeah, it's a sequence of four chords, and da 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 da. But oh well,
Is it
really.
usually used for?
I guess it's kind of a surprise sound, like surprise sort of thing. Really need to drive on roads and not walls. Okay. Oh my. But such is the life. That's the way things are. Yeah, I sometimes think about the whole driving thing. Sometimes I wish I had a motor vehicle, and then other times I'm so happy I don't.
Yeah, motor vehicles are a bit of a hassle,
Yeah.
but I also want what you can get from their use.
Yes, yes,
By
absolutely.
which I mean, making out at a drive-in, but also going places.
Okay, okay. Um, yeah, because for example, with the chair, with a motor vehicle of my own, I would drive to the Squall Market, the chair, stick it in the trunk, and drive it back home. But then there would be all the insurance and the car payments and all this other heavy stuff, and then I'd never be able to afford it. So that's the $8 for the trip home wasn't bad.
Hmm.
Well, the trip was $8, and I gave him a $5 tip because he was so nice. Loaded the car, loaded the stuff into the car for me, and actually took it out of the car and brought it to my door for me. And I said, "Wow, thank you." I wasn't expecting any of that. I don't know, but such is the life. Yeah, now getting it into the building and into the apartment, that was another story. I'm I have my backpack and then I have the chair and 35 pounds of cat litter. And I'm leapfrogging all of them over each other to get them in here.
So, okay, recall for me, are you on the first floor?
Yes.
Okay. It's weird. I don't know why. Some part of my brain is picturing one of those deals where you open the front door and there's maybe 3 steps down, so you're not completely on ground level, you're actually a little below.
Oh, okay. Yeah, with this building, it depends on what side of the building you're on. Okay,
Mm.
there are 3 floors of apartments. Um, what I think of as the basement, you might think of as the first floor. But from the back, the basement is below grade, but from the front, it's at grade.
Mm.
So,
Now, I don't consider it a basement unless it's A, underground, and 2, either contains a rec room and or like boilers and shit.
well,
That's a basement.
this one has the boilers, so I guess it's halfway there, but there's no rec room.
Oh,
Well,
well, that's why I said and or.
yeah. Well, I don't know. There is a rec room when they really screw things up and they turn it into a rec, and But
Leave
yeah,
the puns to the experts, dear.
yes, absolutely. Yeah, he was even so nice that he came around to the back, because you come in the back door and it's just a straight shot, no stairs or anything. But from the front, you've got to climb half a flight of stairs to get up to this thing here. And I'm not gonna do it, with a 40-pound box, with a chair and all that bullshit. No, 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 no.
Hmm.
And then there's this cat over there. Hello, Xander. How are you doing?
So
He's by the chair.
Oh, oh yeah, I guess he is.
Yay! Ow!
Yeah.
11 minutes, dear.
Yeah. Well, see, they weren't meowing until you meowed. Now, Columbia, this is I'm blaming you for this one. This one's your fault.
There we
Ugh.
go. Yeah. Oh, jeez. I'm a very responsible person. Anytime something goes sideways, I'm responsible.
And, but
Oh, oh, jeez. Oh, and then we've got Amiga Nuts doing his thing. Oh my word, doing the whole shilling thing. You are an expert at this shilling. You know that, right?
I
Oh
wonder
my.
how much it actually accomplishes anything. How many people aren't already subscribed to see it?
Mm. Well,
But
I'm.
I actually haven't checked my subscriber count in a while, and it really hasn't moved at all. Okay.
I've gained a couple. I'm at 534. So I picked up a couple in the last couple of weeks, and yeah, I'm sure that the memory of 500 subscribers in your head is very dim.
No, well, I mean, I've told you the story about how I got my first 1,000, right?
Yeah, that was
Non-stamp collector shouted me out. I
yeah.
was at 500 when he shouted me out. So, I mean, that's my memory of being at 500 subscribers. I mean, sure, it's in the distant past, but it came with this whopping great milestone.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I don't know. That must be a really really amazing thing, to be shouted out by someone of that stature.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And you know, it's so sad. He said he would come back and then didn't. Like he
Mm.
made this big video, I'm back, everybody, and then
Jesus
uh,
C8, right?
oh well.
Harmonica Man is at 44. Oh man, we got to do something about that. Okay, Amiga Nuts, do your thing.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Like I've been going through my subscriptions list, looking at all of the people who haven't posted since the Hoover administration. It's crazy.
Oh, jeez. Okay. I just got a new comment a couple of days ago. For of all things, the about the Lavender Lady video. I don't know. Have you watched that one?
I don't know.
That's the one where I'm the Lavender Lady, and I don't blow things up. And I'm talking about what I'm doing and interspersing explosions.
Okay, I definitely not seen this.
God, I made it years ago.
Hmm.
Before I was any good at doing, well, I'm still not any good at making videos, but that's another story entirely.
That's just because you keep overthinking them.
The
If you
editing,
could stop being your own worst enemy, you could make videos.
there you go. No, the editing on that thing, I did pretty much frame by frame.
Oh, wow, Columbia, you look so evil when you yawn. Like her ears go back and her eyes turn into these little slits, and like her, it's she looks absolutely horrific when she yawns, and that's why it's cute.
Okay. It's always nice to, yeah, be horrifically cute or cutely horrific or I don't know. What am I talking about? Any of you folks in the side
Actually,
chat know what I'm
no,
talking about?
here's a Largan Schnurkin.
Oh, look at that. Look at that face.
But I mean, she kind of looks like she wants to eat you. It's a woman, but I mean, I could totally see a cat making that face if it was possessed by demons. You know?
Oh, yeah, she agrees. She agrees.
7 minutes, baby. 7 minutes.
Oh.
So it's 6 now.
Yes.
You know what I'm tempted to do is something that she absolutely hates. You ever pick up your cat, flip her onto her back, and then start rubbing her belly?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
He hates it. Hates it. Now, Xander hates it if I do it to him, but he will flip himself on his belly and on his back and take belly rubs willingly, and he loves that. So it has to be his own idea.
I used to cradle Miranda in my arms like a baby. So I'd get under her front paws, flip her into the arms. Yeah, like that, like that. Uh-huh. And when she was a kitten, she would fall asleep like that.
Well, Columbia and Xander both hate it if you do it to them. Xander will willingly do it, Columbia won't.
Okay.
One thing that Xander has started doing that Columbia refuses to do is he will now sleep nestled under the covers against my stomach. Like
Okay.
Columbia, when Columbia was a kitten, I first got her and she like got under the covers. I had some intestinal distress and accidentally
Oops.
gave her a Dutch oven. And since then, she refuses to be under the covers ever.
Okay, I don't know why.
But that was an unfortunate incident then. But no,
Oh,
Xander started getting under the covers, and it's really adorable and cozy.
yeah. The little one will get under the covers with me during the winter when I'll have
Hmm.
the furnace turned down and it's a little chilly, so I'll hold the blanket up and say, oh, "Come on," and she'll walk in, and I'll slowly bring the blanket down, and she'll nestle in for a little while, and yeah. Then when I was living in that bombed out house, uh, I'd get under 5 blankets and fully clothed in my trench coat and everything else, and I'd wake up with DC nestled under my arm. You know, he knew where to get the warmth. You know, it's like, "Hi, kitty." You know.
So, okay, like you know how Columbia will lick my Krellbow, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Xander licks my feet. And not just my feet, the heels, as well as everywhere else. And I'm like, as much as it's like weird that you're doing this, I mean, if it makes you happy, I guess. But one of the reasons why I'm a little trepidatious about letting him under the covers is he also likes to lick Howie. And
Okay.
with as rough as a cat's tongue is, I imagine that a stuffed animal can't survive that for very long.
Right. Right. Yeah.
And
Um,
so I actually store Howie under a blanket now just to protect him from Xander.
okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'd probably deconstruct Howie, and
Yeah.
that would not be a good thing. And then
Yeah.
there's what Winston did to Weasel. Yeah, Winston loved Weasel.
Mm.
Uh, he'd be walking around the apartment, with Weasel by the neck, and then okay, he'd stop walking and then hump Weasel, and then when he got off, he'd start walking. It's like, okay,
You know, Hump Weasel is the name of my new band.
all right, now we're talking. Yeah,
Uh, but yeah, I've told you before about Bat who would carry the sock around in his mouth.
yeah, okay.
Yeah. I don't
Amiga,
know.
that's
Cats can develop attachments to such odd things, can't they?
yes, they can. Absolutely. Let's see, what do we have over here? Amiga said, "I did much better by adding comments to videos with a show list on each comment. I haven't been doing as much because everybody is streaming all the time." Yeah, well, even I've been streaming a little more than I used to. I mean, we have our Sundays and we have our Tuesdays, and I've gone rogue a couple of times already, and I don't know. I don't know if it's going to become a habit or not. We're going to have to see. Um, okay, Mage is wondering what make and model Howie is.
Yeah, I don't know. I got him like it was almost certainly still the 80s when I got him. I don't know. And it's weird. I've always thought of him as a husky, but looking at the shape of his ears, he's probably not.
Okay. Yeah, I thought I remembered a caniform there. A little puppy type thing.
Well, it's just like I mean, there are some huskies out there who have folded over ears, but they seem to be not the norm. And but also they tend to have not quite the rounded ears so much. They tend to be a lot pointier on a husky. So I don't know what Howie's supposed to be, but I always thought of him as a husky.
And the husky wee wee, I mean the doggy wee wee has blinded me, and I can't see temporarily.
What on earth is wrong with you?
You don't know by
Anyway,
now.
it is 6 o'clock now, so I should probably feed the kitties.
Oh,
So
yay.
I'll catch you like the plague. Have
Okay,
fun.
you're gonna take off on. Okay. Um.
Yeah, I should probably feed the Kate too. So,
Okay, that's a good thing. We'll love having you by all the time. I mean, really can't get enough of you.
well, of
And
course you do.
yeah, you take care,
Later.
sweetness. Okay. Oh, let me get over here and get rid of one of those ugly mugs. There we go. There we go. And now we have just one ugly mug over there. How do you like that? Yeah, you had two of me, and that was a little bit of overkill. Holy shit, we've got 11 watching. Isn't that something? That is amazing. I am so happy, guys, that you come here and stuff and things. And Mage says, I need to put my dinosaurs to bed and get dinner. Okay. Sounds like a whole bunch of fun. I have, from time to time, considered getting a dinosaur. And the thing is, I'm not sure how long the dinosaur would last with Sylvia around. Um, I know that I've known of I was part of a household where the dinosaur ran the roost. So the dinosaur kept the two cats in line. You know, wouldn't take any shit. Quick, quick snap to the nose if he got annoyed, that sort of thing. But with a budgie, I don't know what chance a budgie would stand against this one if the two encountered each other without suitable protection between them. So, yeah, we'll let that be for a while, I guess. I mean, I wish I could have I wish I could have a menagerie. I really do. And there was Linda and I had two kitties, gray cheek parakeet, and a bunch of cold water fish. You know, AKA sort of kind of goldfish. Yes, they do. Yeah, you parrots and ravens. You put them in your will. Yeah. I think, I think it's not unusual for a parrot to live to over 70. That sort of thing. And it's just the way that works. But yeah, it's at least for now, it's going to be Sylvia and a box of fishies. I think I said it earlier. I'll say it again. I think next week I'm going to start working on livestock and in waves introduce the residents to the box and see how Sylvia does. I mean, she loved fishing the last time around. As a matter of fact, I had to keep the level of the water in the aquarium low because with the hood that was on there at that time, she could reach behind with the paw and just go for whatever might be swimming by. So I had to keep that lower than her reach. And here with this, the cover is more complete. It's a glass cover with I don't know, about an inch and a half plastic strip in the back that you can cut to fit whatever you want to cut and fit. And with the way I'm running this thing, I'm not going to be cutting and fitting anything, or at least anytime soon. She hasn't been getting up on there the way she did when I first got, not when I first got it, but when I first set this up. When I first put the new cover on, she would actually get up on it and try to do some reaching in there. She hasn't done that. She hasn't done that lately, so hopefully things are going to get better. But with the chair here, and then she can get up on the back of the chair, which she's already done. We'll see what she does with the fish vision, because I guess she used to love to watch. Used to watch the fishies in the other one, the neons and the angels. And we'll just see how it goes from there and everything, and give it a try, make an adjustment, give it another try, make an adjustment, and things will be good. Hopefully work out well. Oh my, oh my, oh my. It'll be interesting though to have a look at my financial books. I'm kind of interested in what I've spent so far on setting that thing up. The light strip was $85. Oh God. Amiga, the chair is absolutely wonderful. Whenever you do your shilling, would you be so kind, if you don't mind, to put an extra nice word in for Purple Rhymes with Orange and Sloth Girl Slowly and Marrow and Upside Down Sweetie and let's see, Junk Shop and Julie and Manda's Love Box. Yeah, Mama Atheist, because I guess they all chipped in and got this little chair for me. They are such sweeties. Well, all of you guys are absolute sweeties. You really are. I don't know how I don't know how I deserve you guys. I really don't. But I don't know. Thanks for being around. Seriously. And yeah, I'll just kind of take it from there. You know. Oh my word. Okay, this is interesting. Let me look in the other thing, you do. Okay, so the file transfer is still going. 20 minutes to go. Yeah, I had not seen it going blink, blink, blink. So I had thought it was over, but I guess maybe not. Oh well, what are you gonna do? Oh my, oh my, oh my. Yeah, I'm going to have another look at that. God, this switch box is so nice. It really is. Okay, it says 19. Yeah, we're still moving files and everything else. Everything's working fine. Yay, 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 yay. Oh, I don't know, Phone Rick. Do you miss out on all the fun? I don't know. But, yeah, with all that stuff going on, 9:09 Eastern. Oh, my word, time flies and you're having fun, doesn't it? And we've been at this for a couple hours, and I'm trying to decide, do I want to boil up some corn? Because I just remembered this morning that I still have 4 ears of corn in the defriginator. I might as well do something eventually about getting that corn into Diana. You know, out of the defriginator and into Diana. We'll see how that works, as far as that goes. And yay and yay and yay and yay. So yes, if you guys don't mind at all, I think what we'll do is start to wind things down a little bit. Um, am I going to be on again before the week is over? I have no idea. Maybe. We'll have to see. Things are opening up, and I'm starting to do a little bit more than I used to, and maybe we're going to see Clarion around a little more. See how that works. Corn is always good. I have loved corn throughout my entire life. Corn is yummy and tasty and nutritious and delicious. I could eat this stuff by the pound. Corn with butter and salt. Almost as good as oatmeal with butter and salt. Oh my word. Oh well. What I'm going to basically say then, if it's okay with all you guys, is I want to thank everybody who's here, and I want to thank everybody who's not here, and all you people who are not here, I'd love to see you here if there's any way you can manage it. You could do this sort of thing. So far it's been Tuesday evening and Sunday noon, and that's Eastern time. Kate and I have some pretty darn good conversations going, and when Mom NATO is here, it's that much better, and we just have a whole bunch of fun here, and it's good to have fun for you guys. You guys make it fun, and okay. To that, I think I will say, thanks a lot, troops. See you on the other side.